Welcome to WrestleHook. In today's video, Gerard and I are going to be breaking down the best matches of the year from both men and women in the United States on WWE or AEW television for the most part. Some might be, from here or there, but that's most of what we consume, what we watch, and what we'll be breaking down today. Gerard, it's been a great year for if you're looking for standout matches. I've been to the most or more matches this year than I've been to any year ever, probably my entire life combined. To be completely honest, definitely a busy year and traveling and stuff. But what I guess we can start with the men's side of things. Were there any matches that didn't make your list, but you wanted to give a shout out before we get into it?
Oh, most definitely. It's going to be one coming from Europe, coming from France. We're talking about AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE title. I enjoyed this match to have my man, my dog, Alan Jones, wrestling Cody Devontae Rhodes for that title. Two two men that have been invited to the cookout before who are not only hip hop
Okay.
music enthusiasts, but also
All right.
shared great chemistry and having the element of, oh, it's AJ Styles, the veteran versus Cody, the new champion that is trying to establish himself in his title reign and what he's doing and moving forward. That dynamic between the both of them was such a great match, and just the twists and turns, the submission attempts, the what we were able to get out of the story with AJ, and leading and saving enough room for another one while leaving you satisfied in the match that you had. Hey, that match from Backlash is definitely going to be my honorable mention. But how about you?
Yeah. I think that Cody and AJ match was definitely one of my favorites. They had really good chemistry this year, and it was also felt like a breath of fresh air a little bit because it was like finally Cody is away from Bloodline BS and Logan Paul and that area of stuff, and he's wrestling AJ Styles and AJ I think also had a lot to prove here, that proving that he's still got those main event epics in him. And yeah, it was a great match. One of my very favorite WWE matches of the year. Um, as far as my honorable mention goes, I actually have a tag match from earlier this year. It is Sting's last match, Sting and Darby versus the Young Bucks. This match to me was about as perfect as it could go. It it was filled with nostalgia, but also with such exciting moments. With Sting's family getting involved, um, incredible spots that the Young Bucks were the perfect opponents for them to go out against, and obviously Darby is one of my favorite wrestlers. So
That
I just
man
thought
almost
like
dying. Oh,
yeah,
oof.
and honestly like when I thought of that pay-per-view Revolution, like that's the match. Like that's to me like it's hard to remember other things that happened on that card. I mean, and it was many months ago, but at the same time, like that was the reason I was locked in for that show, and that was the one of the best moments in AEW to me of this year, and not just because of how good Sting was in that match particularly, but also just for you know I think when we look back at like this early like first handful of years with AEW, I think that was one of the things that they really did a great job at was they treated those like legends of the business and those veterans with so much respect, and they did a really good job at making sure that they had great ways to, whether it's to retire or great showings. In a time when AEW started, WWE really did not do very well with that, with treating these legends as legends. Just based on what Vince McMahon thinks of them, that's kind of a lot what a lot of those runs ended up being. So to me, this was like about as perfect as of a swan song for Sting. Both this match and his last few years in AEW, tagging with Darby at the end, and this was a beautiful way to go out.
Well, hey, I love that, and I fully agree. I had that as my second honorable mention for that match because the spots, the business done out of that match to honor somebody in Sting for multiple generations and to be able to put that on for people and to put that on for Sting himself was a what an amazing match and what an amazing time. All 4 gentlemen involved in that match did a great job, and so I cannot be mad at the Bucks, I can't be mad at Darby or Sting and the performances they put forward in that match. With that being said, how about you take us into your number 3? Let's see
Sure.
where we rock
Yeah,
with
I'll
that.
jump right in. So my number three, I have. Oh wait, which way? Sorry, I have three in order, but I can't remember which way I did it. Let me double check. Okay. So my number three was a match at AEW All In, the main event. I had Bryan Danielson, Swerve Strickland, and this was not just because of the work in the match, but it was because of the moment at the end, the feelings throughout, um, the stakes that were on the line, and even though it felt like Bryan's gonna be able to get this done, it still like pulled my heart in every direction. And we watched this back at my apartment, and to me, it was really, really captivating, really memorable. It transcended like a little bit of context. This isn't just a match that like AEW fans were left tuned in for. This was like I have friends that don't watch AEW that were like, this. Let me check this Danielson match out. Like this, like he wins the world title. His career is on the line. Let me go. And like I don't think there was anything that I would change about it. I thought it was genuinely incredible. The moments with his family and the barricade with Swerve and Nana. Just the great heel performance of Swerve in that match that I mentioned actually in my rest of the year conversation. To me, this was probably one of the most memorable matches that I watched this year, and it was hard for me to leave it off my list.
Originally, this was my number 2, but then it got moved down to number 4 for me. So, but on the 100 greatest matches of all time list, this is 19. This is ranked 19 of all time. So,
By who?
that
By
says
you?
something. A cage match.
Oh, I'm trying to
This
think.
is number 19 of all time. Like, it says something when that's the quality that you're putting on this year. Danielson and Osprey alone both had 3 different performances on this list that made it to the top of all time list this year. But man, this was something else. This had emotion, this had family drama, it had everything. And it felt like have you ever seen Rocky 3? No, I'm just around, but but literally, it felt like a Rocky movie where you're rooting for Rocky to win. You want Rocky to win, and you actually get to see Rocky pull out the dub in this movie, and the wholesome moment with his family, with everybody in the ring, like you stated earlier, like it. The more and more I sat on it, the more and more I loved it, and
Yeah,
so I don't know. I enjoyed this match. I wish it could have made it higher on my list, but
yeah. And I want to say
oof.
like I know, especially with the way that Hangman's run has gone lately, like there's a lot of people in hindsight saying, "Oh, it should have been Hangman and Swerve," and I can totally understand your perspective, but I wouldn't trade this moment. And I think there's valid criticisms of the follow up to that moment and the rain that happened afterwards. But when this happened, like that was easily one of my top three men. What do you have for
I
number three?
so homie, my number 3, we went to hell. We went to Hell in a Cell in Atlanta, Georgia. It's Drew
Sorry.
McIntyre versus CM Punk. For me, this match, as people kept saying it, as we've said it, they brought Hell in a Cell back. They put it
Yeah.
back. They put the seriousness back in it. They made the stipulation feel like something again. Being at the Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania 39 with Finn and Edge, just that was the first one they did since cutting the pay-per-view, and I was like, "Okay," and then of course, there was the 13 staples and that injury, so, like, we didn't have the time to actually that match had a big thing that stopped a lot
Yeah.
of its momentum.
Right.
They said, "Hey, it's a different time, folks. We've talked about some different protocols. Go ahead, Drew. We about to crack you with this. We about to crack you with this toolbox. We about to both y'all both about to bleed. We both about to use tables. We're gonna make the stipulation feel feud ending again. We're gonna make it feel like it's not just a stepping stone, but a big time match." And yeah, I was upset with them opening the pay per view with it, but once again, one of my favorite Hell in Cells prior to this is Becky versus Sasha, and that opened the pay per view. And homie, do you know what pay per view that is? That, if I'm correct, is the one with the Fiend in it, and that's how they ended that show in 2019. So, but how they opened it was a great one. And so, same with
That's
this.
something.
They opened with this one, and this match captivated so well. And it was, I leaned and prayed and hoped that nothing happened to Punk. And hey, not only did he deliver, but he pulled through. This match got 5 stars. Hey, they brought the sale back. I ain't mad
They
at it.
did, and I thought, I mean, everything about this match felt dangerous. They established it right away. Felt urgent. It felt like, Punk's got to figure out how to beat this monster. Toolbox spot, the spot. I mean,
But
it was just it was perfect, and it reestablished the stipulation. The angles were good. A lot of times great. They did a lot of them, so some of them, were all right. But um, this was a great match, and for all those reasons, I have it as my number two. I also want to include this. They opened the show for one reason. It wasn't because it wasn't. It was wasn't gonna be the best match. They opened the show because Dwayne the Rock Johnson was at a high school football game the night before in Georgia, and he decided he wanted to come to Bad Blood to put three fingers in the air. Now, turns out, as Fightful was reported, there was no plan for that. That was just The Rock wanted to make an appearance. He was there. They said, "All right, well then, and they made event." So Punk has seen all this, and I think Punk has taken note that if you can't beat the Bloodline match, Gerard, you got to beat the Bloodline match. So we'll get to that when we get to our WrestleMania predictions video coming soon. But first, like this video, leave a comment, let us know what your matches are. We're gonna keep going in this list though. Like I said, that was my number two. So Gerard, what was your number two?
my number two was Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland. Cause man, oh man, did I feel like real life Dragon Ball Z came to life. Man, oh man, this was an anime fight. And I know these are two boys that love anime and love nerdy. Swerve stays walking around with a N7 jacket from it's a video game franchise, and now Mass Effect. Like they detail
Mm-hmm.
in their clothing. Assassins, one has one has Mass
Assassin's
Effect, one
Creed.
has
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed. Like these mugs are nerds through and through, all what they doing. And this match was so phenomenal to the very end. And to have then Swerve almost teaching Will this lesson of like, yo, and it then became a thread for his character basically for the rest of the year. Like you got to the mountaintop and then you were pushed down and you fell from the mountaintop. Why did you fall from the mountaintop? Because you didn't take it serious enough, because you weren't willing to kill when the moment came. And Swerve told you, if you don't do it, he will. And he did. And to the point where you got Limp Will, which I love when he's doing Limp Will selling, and he's like, "Oh, I don't have enough in me, bruv. I can't
Mm-hmm.
continue." Like, I love it. Just the fighting spirit through and through. And you see it throughout this match. And then the effect of that W for Swerve. Swerve, swerve, Word? Like, come on, man. Like, it literally took him to the next level. It basically made him go Super Saiyan,
Yeah.
and he then became what we see today. And I think I swear he's also been working out too, because he just physically looks like he's getting bigger,
Oh
like
yeah.
torso wise. He just looks more jacked as he's getting throughout the year. But the point of it came from this match. This is my number two. This was
Yeah.
a crazy number two.
It narrowly missed my list. It was in that group of matches that I think are going to be very similar for us. Um, maybe if I would have been there, it would have been my number one. But my number one match was a match that you and I were there to see, front row of our section. Bryan Danielson in his last year of his full time run versus Will Ospreay, and I mean, from the moment of the entrances starting to like the bell ringing, you could just feel like this is something special. Even if you knew nothing about these guys, like you could tell this is something special. And it was. And it was like to me obviously a ton of great spots in this match, but I think just the thread throughout of Will Ospreay just being a slight step ahead. Like that's just he's a little bit quicker than Danielson, and I mean down to the finish. Like this match was captivating. It was thrilling. Some of the spots like it was unbelievable, Jordan. I can't even like really speak about it and do it justice at all. Obviously, you're watching this video, you've seen this match, but it's something that I want to go back and rewatch soon because I watched it right after the live performance, but I haven't seen it in a minute. So, what did you think about this? And I'm guessing this is your number one as well.
This is my number one match. And let's talk about it like this. We wouldn't be talking to you all if it wasn't for this match, because I saw this match get announced. I instantly then said, "Hey, I need to look up and see how far St. Louis is from me,
Yeah,
because I might have to drive to go see this match." 7 hours. I don't it wasn't probably the same day as the announcement, but I definitely reached out to Brendan. I was like, "Hey, yo, you trying to go to this?" "Yes, I am. Let's make it happen."
we did it.
Found an affordable place, got the car, whipped on down there, 7-hour drive.
Got the barbecue.
Off of what match? This match being
That's right.
announced. The potential of this match being announced. Got some fire ass barbecue. Fire.
Yeah,
Set the mood
happy
right.
smokeout.
Literally walk to the arena. Smooth little walk from the hotel. Just down the street. Beautiful city, beautiful little got to see the arch, and we
Yep,
even had the arch giving us a little backdrop while we walked to the arena through campus. And then, man, the things I felt during that match, I have never felt during a wrestling match before. Like, I could make this really graphic. I've never felt some of those things in some relationships I've been in. Like, it's crazy what I felt in that match. Like, it's wild. That being there live for that match is the greatest experience I have ever been a part of, period. I have chased that so long in AEW. I've watched from home all these cool, crazy, fun moments, but then I went to Forbidden Door, didn't get that. I went to I finally got to Forbidden Door 2, and I kinda got that, but Don Callis kinda took away from it for me, just a piece of it. So, like, that Omega Will Ospreay 2 match, it didn't fully hit what I wanted, but we were almost there. But that was still a fun show and a fun trip. But this match, Willow winning that title early in the show was like my appetizer. This was my fucking main course. And my God, oh my God, this is my favorite match. This is my favorite match of all time I've ever seen live. There is no better match to me. Like, this is it. Like,
Let's
this
go.
is the literally the conversations on the car ride to this match is what pushed us to do this together.
That's true.
So
That is the birth of this channel, this podcast, everything in this space that we do.
it's
Um,
my number one.
yeah,
Come on now. Nothing
it's
more
a
I could say behind it.
I agree,
It
and you know what? That's a really good place to end it. I think we're about 20 minutes in, so if you listen this far, thank you for listening. Be on the
like
lookout because when we post this, we're probably going to post the best women's matches of the year soon after. But yeah, please leave a like on the video, drop a comment, let us know what are some matches we didn't talk about that you wanted to include in that conversation. What are some of your favorite matches of the year? Let us know. Give us your order. I'd love to talk with y'all about it in the comments. But if you listen to this and you're hooked on wrestling, then
hey,
this is
you're in
the
the right
place to be.
place.
That's right. Peace.